the goal is that trophy at the end, right? And you want to have to just play 2 games instead of 3 to make it to that game. So the thought that we literally are only playing a couple games left if we take care of business is like, how can you not sell out? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you not use every day as if it's your last? Especially that's the whole mindset all the way back from training camp. But like now we're literally in it where it's like it truly is a new season. Like you have to recommit, you have to dial in and everything. Like you got this is a whole new season.
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Warner House. We are here on not a Victory Monday, but that's okay. Like, it's not that serious this week. Because guess what? We're in the #1 seed and we didn't need it. So it's okay. Like, God got us, you know?
Yeah, thank goodness. It still just sucks, to
Let's
lose.
not dive too deep in.
Okay,
We're just a few seconds in.
Sure. We won't,
So we're just I just wanted to say that off the rip because we didn't win yesterday, but it's okay. Like it was lighthearted. Everyone was happy. Like you got right.
Oh, I mean,
it
was kind of like weird. It was a little bit weird
from a fan's perspective.
Yeah. I'm sure you got everybody just we're still the 1 seed. We still get the bye.
Yeah, it's kind of like a weird reaction. Like I'm not happy, but I'm also not that sad. But,
yeah,
no,
I was ready to move on.
Yeah,
get off of it.
So, it's a fresh week. This week, we'll just start with our days. How was your day?
Man, my day was action-packed. Got straight to it. Literally woke up this morning rejuvenated.
Really?
Rejuvenated, ready for this second season that we're about to embark on.
Yeah.
It's so crazy. Me and you were talking about earlier about how like a lot of people in the league right now are packing up their stuff today, doing their exit interviews, and season is over. And like they have to move on and get on their vacations and whatnot.
Yeah.
Basically, we get an extra season, and a lot of people don't.
I know,
and that's a blessing.
No, I was just talking. I was thinking, I was like, it's so weird to think like if yesterday was your last game, we would be like packing our bags to go somewhere for the weekend.
Thank God that's not us.
No, totally.
Yeah. Right.
It would seem like a very short season, to be honest.
Yeah. Luckily, we play for an organization where you usually don't have to worry about those sort of things, so we're good to go.
Yeah.
How was your day?
Oh, my day had lots of ups and downs.
Tell us about it.
I am officially 8 months pregnant this week.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. Weeks 31 through 35 are 8 months.
Okay.
And then you're in your 9th month at 35 through however long it takes to get that baby out. So 8 months pregnant, and I feel it. Like I said, like I talk to you about often, I am having a really easy pregnancy with no, surprises or bad things happening. So I don't know, I feel it. Like I have a headache constantly it could be all kinds of different things. Not enough water, my legs are throbbing, my feet are throbbing, I can't feel my fingers, I literally cannot breathe.
Take a breath. That was a long-winded answer.
So you guys will hear me constantly probably huffing and puffing in the mic. Sorry if that's annoying. I can't breathe, I can't walk. So yeah, just thinking about 2 more months of this is kind of crazy and wild. Yeah.
Well, you know what? You're doing an amazing job.
By the end of this, Fred, for real, like I'm not gonna be okay. Like I already know. Like I'm not gonna be okay.
Well, we're gonna make sure we tweak that mindset. I'm gonna
have to. Maybe they'll have to admit me a few days. Just
nope.
Because I'm not gonna be able to walk or move.
We're gonna get you all settled up in a cocoon in that nice.
We're gonna have to get an ambulance to roll me out of here.
We're gonna go ahead and get you in a nice cocoon up in the bedroom, just where you're able to just lie down.
Yeah.
I'll cater to you, make sure I get you your meals and your little drink. It's like just on bed rest until it's time.
That's how I'm feeling. Yeah. But then I say all of that, and then I get up and I go and I do like a full day of cardio at the gym. you know?
Some days are better than others. Sydney almost didn't want to do, the podcast tonight.
I almost didn't make it.
She almost didn't make it, and so
Mhm.
right now she's being a heck of a trooper for us to be here and with her presence and doing obviously a
My
wonderful job.
spirits are high always. They
Yeah,
are I try to make them high,
yeah,
but my body is broken down
okay,
almost to the ground,
to the through the ground.
through the ground.
Yep.
And imagining having to deliver a baby with a broken down body is crazy.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
so
All
I'm
right.
feeling a little
So basically,
crazy.
it's just been a rough day, is what it sounds like.
The pregnancy is pregnancying.
Okay, it's just been a rough day.
Yeah,
That's what it sounds like to me. But you know
yeah.
what? I think tomorrow's gonna be much better.
Thank you for saying that.
Tomorrow's gonna be a lot better.
Thank
Don't
you.
you worry.
Thanks.
Um,
Brett had a great day. His body feels amazing. You only had to play how many snaps yesterday?
about 10,
And
10,
how does that
11.
feel on the bod?
It's as if I did nothing.
Really? Because
Hmm.
your body kind of goes into like it's like what is it, autopilot?
What do you mean?
Like when you don't really have to think about it much. Like if you're only playing like 10 plays, it's literally like you push on a button, your body just like does what it needs to do, and then it gets out. You know.
Mm,
To where if you had to play more than that, you kind of have to like like really
no, no,
really
no.
really
I mean,
try hard.
no, no, no.
No?
That's not how it is at all. Like
Uh,
anytime you're told that you're suiting up for the game, you have to get your mind all the way right, like you're playing 60 minutes. Like,
okay.
and like I've told you about how long the process is, and like all the little juices and powders and stuff you got to take to
Yeah.
get you in that mindset and make sure you're locked in, ready to go. You get yourself riled up because when you're out there and you got to be on 15.
Yeah.
Regardless of who's out there, whoever you're going against in the situation, like you want to make sure you're putting the right thing on tape on the
Yeah.
field. And so the sucky part is getting pulled out after 10 plays. It's like, well, I barely even got to like get my, get my footing out there. Like you got to usually takes a little bit to start getting the groove of the game. And by the time I was even sniffing, making a play, I was
Yeah.
already out. So yeah, that's just
I
part
was
of it.
interested to see like when you were gonna. I didn't know if you were gonna play until the half or if you were just gonna play like what you played.
Yeah, the plan was to play 2 quarters, and then after the second series, we got an interception,
Yeah.
you know, and they saw all they needed to see,
Love
and
that.
wanted to make sure we
Who
got
made the
guys out
interception?
healthy. Taylor Hawkins.
Oh, and what was his story? He's like,
So he's been on rewind all the way back to training camp and preseason. He breaks
uh-huh.
his wrist in preseason. And
Oh
they
yeah.
had to I forget what it's called, basically medically release him. Like he had to go get surgery. He was off the team,
Mhm.
and then he finally gets back healthy. They sign him back. He's been on practice squad, and then we had some guys down at safety injuries in the situation. They pulled him up for the game. This is his first regular season action, second year player, and goes in there and gets interception in his first game.
So cool to see that. He was
Hmm.
so happy. It made me. I was like smiling ear to ear when I saw that.
No, it was cool.
Super exciting to see
Hmm.
that. So sweet. So that was just a little bit of touch on the game. We are blessed, like I said in the very beginning, that we have this bye week. Fred has his bye week off. I've never experienced this before. Now that I'm in this football world, so it's kind of cool. It's what's so funny. Like I've experienced the one year where we did make it to the playoffs, which was a bizarre year. That was
Hmm.
COVID year. Everything was weird that year, and then ever since we've been to the playoffs, which is
Hmm.
really nice. But
Hmm.
I've never experienced you guys being the one seed during the playoffs. So that you feel like it's like luxury, like
Hmm.
you're like, oh, you get to rest and spirits are high. Like, it's like, you know what it's like? It's like when you are in school and you have the good enough grades to where you don't have to take
The
the
final.
finals, and
Oh
you're
my
like,
gosh, that
I
was
don't have
you.
some. It depends on the class. It depends on the class.
It depends on the class. Okay, so like what classes were we excelling in?
I was excelling in literature,
Okay,
English,
literature.
language, creative writing,
So basically all the English classes where that was your top 3.
math. I was definitely taking the final.
Okay,
Definitely taking the final on math.
definitely.
Definitely.
Whoa, with a capital D. All right. Well, yeah, we aced the season,
Mhm.
and so luckily we don't have to take this little final here this week,
Mhm.
and the goal is that trophy at the end, right? And obviously you want to have to just play 2 games instead of 3 to make it to that game. So
Mhm.
the thought that we literally are only playing a couple games left if we take care of business is like, how can you not sell out? You know what I'm saying? Like, how can you not use every day as if it's your last? Especially like, that's the whole mindset all the way back
Yeah.
from training camp. But like now we're literally in it where it's like it truly is a new season. Like you have to recommit, you have to dial in and everything. Like you got like this is a whole new season. You gotta
Well,
really
it's a preseason. It's only 3 games.
that's what I'm saying. Like, and
Yeah.
you gotta really recommit and completely give yourself to this thing that we're trying to achieve. Like this isn't about you. This is about the team.
Is
Like
that
and
how the team feels?
absolutely.
You mean that and you believe that?
I do.
Not just you, because you obviously carry, like you're a special breed.
Oh, thank you, honey.
But sometimes it sucks. Okay, I just hope we're all on the same page. That's all I'm gonna say.
Listen, we are. And
Okay,
if I ever felt
because I
like we
can't.
weren't, then we needed to have some sort of kumbaya and talk about it, then we would
Yeah,
have that. But I truly believe in the men that we have in the building and what everybody's made of,
yeah.
and we're gonna get it
Well, the
done.
talent's there for sure. It's just like I hope everyone's like is as
Yeah, no,
motivated.
it has nothing to do about talent. Talent don't win you nothing at the end.
You
It
don't
gives
think
you a
so?
chance. Give you a chance.
Mm,
Character, character brings you all the way there. And I think Kyle kind of hit it on the head. He's talking to us in the team meeting before this past game. We're talking about certain things, and it's so crazy all the experiences we've had in this short time. He's been coaching this team for 7 years. I've been on it for 6,
mhm,
and having been to the pinnacle, that game where you can win it all and you lose it. Having been to like NFC Championship games and like we've been the underdog where we got all the way. We had to go into Green Bay, win it, and we get it to the Rams, we lose. We've
mm,
been, hot last year where we're undefeated all the way up until the NFC Championship game and have a key injury and we lose. And then obviously having the 1 seed and losing. So it's like the thing that you realize though is like we have felt that we've had the best team in the NFL in a lot of those years.
mm.
But it's not about who the best team is.
It's not.
It's about who can play the best.
And who has the best quarterback?
Who can play the best in those 3 hours?
Okay.
Because like I keep saying, there's no 7-game
What about
series like
luck?
NBA.
You think luck ties into it at all? Ties
I don't
into it
believe
at
in luck.
all? No?
My coach Johnny Holland says, the harder you work, the luckier you get.
So you don't think Michigan had a little luck last week against Bama?
I'm sure you probably think so
Right.
because you're Alabama diehard. But I guarantee you,
Okay.
little things add
Yeah.
up over time.
Yeah.
There's probably little things that you saw throughout the season in Alabama
Oh,
that probably,
it was dicey. Yeah.
hey, it carried
Yeah.
over into that game and it showed in the biggest stage.
Totally.
So there's no such thing as luck. The harder you work, the luckier you get.
Okay.
Some people they're like, oh, like there was interceptions I had this year where it's like, oh man, Fred's so lucky. They just throw the ball right to him.
Oh
He's in
no.
right there in that. Hey,
Yeah,
I've been
no.
working my whole career for like things just kind of come when you're doing things the right way.
Yeah.
So anyway, this isn't the NBA. There's no 7-game series. In the NBA, usually the best team wins because
Okay.
they have so many chances to like right their wrongs. If they lose a game, guess what? There's game 2. There's game 3. There's game 4. There's no game 4, 5, 6, 7 with us. It's literally one game.
Yeah.
So it's time to recommit and dedicate your life for one game.
Out of time.
No, one
Oh.
game.
But you have to get to that one game, right?
Literally all we have is one game.
Okay.
That's
At
the
a
mindset.
time.
That's the mindset.
Okay.
One game is left in this season. If you start thinking ahead, we're
Okay.
going to trot through the first round and trot through the second NFC Championship game, and
No,
we're going to
no,
make
no.
it.
Wait, you guys know there's no trotting because we have literally, I mean,
What?
our history says it all. I mean, we go to those games and it doesn't usually, things happen. So we definitely, I don't think we have
It's
the
about
mindset
it's
of
right now.
trotting
It's
anywhere.
about winning one game. That's all it is, really.
Okay.
And then once you win
So
that one game, man, we just earned ourselves another one.
yeah, yeah,
But it's just one,
so scary.
and we don't know who we play.
I know.
So you can sit there, you can be like, oh, let me watch film on literally 4 different teams that we can possibly play. That's probably not going to help you.
So back to what you said kind of about Bama and like you said there's probably little things that, got them to where they are at now, which is,
On the couch.
yes. Do you think this week, so that you guys have the bye week, that's what you'll focus on, is just like little things?
Mhm,
Because like you can't really, like, you don't know who you play yet until almost at the game time.
mhm.
So what do you do?
You you work at the fundamentals and technique
Okay.
of the game of football because people think playoff time comes. Like I've been a part of what this will be my fourth playoffs, and the thing I learned early on, especially from the older guys who have been there, done that, I was like, what's the key? Like, what do we have to do different now that we're in the playoffs to make it? You don't do nothing different.
Mm,
There's no special scheme. There's no special player.
mm,
You literally, the fundamentals and technique of your position, you want to make sure that you're so dialed in and focused on the basics that you do it better than everybody else in the league. So then when that 3 hours comes, if all 11 players on that field at one time are doing the little things right, playing and play out,
mm.
I mean, you see the times that we've lost. What like it's just the little things.
Yeah.
Defensively, oh, a guy's out of his gap. Oh, we miss a tackle, a blown assignment in coverage, like little things. Oh, we turn the ball over. Oh, like it's just
Mhm.
if all 11 are right on point, playing and play out, and you're doing it as fast, as violent as possible, that's when you overwhelm cats. Anything else?
No, I mean, I think that's pretty good. I'm excited.
It's exciting. It's an exciting time, mostly because I'm rambling, obviously, because this is
No, it's
obviously
good.
very.
Get it off your chest, babe.
Yeah, I have to
Get it
get
off
it
your
off my
chest.
chest. Our podcast.
Get it off your chest.
It's an exciting time because you don't realize, the thing that happened to us last year in the NFC Championship game, like that stings, you
Mm-hmm.
know, because you didn't really have a chance.
Mm-hmm.
You lose your quarterback in the second series of the game, and like you don't have a chance.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't just get to blink and snap your fingers and you're right back in that moment at a chance at winning a Super Bowl. Like, no, you had to start at ground zero, day one, training camp, OTAs. Yeah, we had a lot of talent, but like you gotta put the work in you, and you got a whole new team. You got to grind. We still have new players that have literally just joined the roster within weeks that are gonna like play key minutes, and like we find like and the season flies by, but we earned this number one seed, and we earned this opportunity once again to be right there on the cusp of doing what we set out to do.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what's most exciting is like now we're here. You better do something about it because they don't come around often.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I guess if you're a 49er, the opportunities come around often, but you better make it.
It's a good franchise.
Well, it better, and we need to make it the greatest of all
I
time.
know we do,
It
and we
already
will.
is. I mean,
And
they already won 5 of them,
no, I know.
but it's been about since 1999. Yeah,
It's our turn.
yeah.
So 49ers lose to Rams 21-20. It is what it is. It's fine. It was kind of like, it was cool seeing all the young guys out there and backup quarterbacks and da 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 da.
Let me just say, my players of the game: Flanagan Fowles, number one; Oren Burks, number two.
Wow, just get right to it.
Yeah, my linebackers really showed out, and yeah, we got guys like D Winters coming in there, rookie, but just Flan. Did
I was watching. He
you
was
see his stat line?
fired up. I
10
didn't.
tackles, 3 for a loss, 3 tackles for loss,
That's
and
awesome.
Oren Burks with a sack.
And Orange just is back. I was surprised to see him out. I don't know. Was he there last game? I didn't know that he was.
Redskins was his first game back from
Okay, I
injury.
didn't realize that he was
He
healthy.
played a few snaps. It wasn't a big workload type of day, but
Oh yeah,
he's out there.
good. That's
He's had his
so
best
good.
season.
I'm so happy he's back.
It was unfortunate that he hurt his knee, but
But he's back when it matters, right?
there you go.
So I'm so
And
excited.
so this past game was great for him to kind of really get his bearings, make some plays,
Yeah,
and we're feeling great as an
good.
LB unit.
I mean,
We're ready to lead the way.
totally.
Mhm.
I guess we could talk about Puka Nacua. It was the day of Puka. That's all I heard. Good Lord.
Uh-oh, you're sick of it?
I mean, it was just constant. It was if you were on the watching it from home.
Oh,
Oh yeah, I didn't go to the game, guys.
yeah.
How crazy! I didn't
Mhm.
go to the game. The trend this week is me not feeling well, so I woke up Sunday and it was things were not well.
Mhm.
So I talked about it with Fred. We kind of talked about it. I was like, he knew that he wasn't going to be in for what, like 10 minutes. And I was like, okay, that helps me make the decision to stay at home, watch the game at home with my mom. And it was like, I'm so
Much
glad that
needed.
I did that
Yeah.
because I know that if I would have went,
You'd
I
be
would have
feeling even worse today.
I would have been feeling even worse today, and I would have just not been like happy. I would have been so uncomfortable. But all of that to say, I was at home watching
Mhm.
the game, and yes,
It
if
was
you
the
were
Puka
watching,
Nacua show.
it was the Puka Nacua show.
As it should have
Totally.
been.
Okay.
Listen, you gotta give the kid his
I don't
flowers.
know
All
anything
right,
about this
obviously, I'm
guy.
I'm biased because it's a fellow BYU Cougar,
Go Cougs.
and, I played with his older brother, Kai Nacua. Shout out Kai, that's my guy. He accomplished something really amazing yesterday, to have the most receptions and yards by a rookie in NFL history, and I think that record has stood for, like, a lot of years.
Yeah.
A lot of years. I don't know how long, but it's been up for a long time. So, some people are like, man, he's not that fast. He's not that, his routes aren't that crispy. Look, you don't just do something like that, accomplish something like that, just because you're out there fooling around. This kid is legit,
Well, I'll say something.
and he made the Pro Bowl
Right. Earlier, I said I didn't know much about him, but then I think back and I'm like, I actually do because I don't know if it was last year or the year before.
last year.
Fred got asked to go and speak to the BYU football team when they were here playing Stanford.
Hmm.
And so he's close with the head coach still, and the head coach of the Cougars asked Fred to just speak to the team and just, like whatever. I don't know what that's called. It's like a pregame
Yeah, it's just
speech.
a little talk,
So
a little
Fred
chitter
did
chat.
that, and then I remember after, you spent some time with Puka and all of that because you've known their family and his brother and all of that. And then after on the way home, you were like, I was like, okay, so who are these, Cougs? Like, do you see someone that ever like stands out to you? And da da da. Da. And he's like, yeah, I mean, there's players, here and there, but one guy that I think has the mindset. Like, you didn't even talk about like his play. You were just like the way that he came up to you afterwards, I guess, and asked you questions and was just like really, really dialed into you and what you had to say, and was just kind of like you just said, he's different. Like he's like locked in differently, and he's
Hmm.
got that recipe, that formula that you need to succeed in the NFL.
Hmm.
And it's like crazy that you called it.
No, no, no.
No, I'm not saying
Let's
that
not
you
go
called
that
it. Like
far.
he was already going to be great no matter what, but
Hmm.
he's just like made of the right stuff, like you always say, on the
Yeah,
field and off.
it's how do I put this? It's hard enough to just make it in the league, like just to make it to the NFL. A lot of things got to go your way, and Puka like was a very star-studded recruit out of high school.
Oh, was he?
Yes, you probably don't know this, but he played for Washington,
Oh, I didn't know that.
committed to Washington, UW, out of high school, and played there for 1 year, and then wanted to go play with his brother, who was
Oh,
playing at Utah. They both transferred together and went to BYU,
oh, it's
so they
like a
played
Troy
together.
Fred story.
A little bit like a Troy Fred story.
Love that.
They go to BYU, and I mean, the kid could have went anywhere. Like, he literally could have been at USC, like
Really?
all these type of schools, like very, very like
So he's just
highly
talented.
tout, highly touted like receiver.
Okay.
So it wasn't some like underdog story. Like the kid's been a baller for a
No, no,
long time.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And so, but like things at BYU, just like injuries, and it's, just coming out of there is like a little harder to get. I mean, it just depends on the position too. Like teams, they look at like what's the history of at the position,
Mhm.
for your school. And like if there's not a lot of people that have come out of there at that position and been successful, they look at you like, I don't know. That's just how the NFL works and like scouting. So you got to prove it. And, Puka getting drafted in the fifth round, probably a little low than what, he probably would have liked.
Yeah.
And just like you mentioned it, like when I talked to him, the mindset was there.
Yeah,
That's the thing that
yeah,
stood out the most to me. So I'm like, he got a chance to do something,
yeah.
not to do what he did, because literally breaking records that have been in place for this long and being a Pro Bowler in your rookie season, these are things that are unheard of,
Mhm,
like unheard of.
mhm,
You got to be the best of the best in the entire NFL to to do these sort of things.
mhm.
So to do it in your first year, is incredible. Like it's something that you can't really put into words. Like
Yeah.
it's
You couldn't have
really
projected that he would do this, but you did, like,
no.
notice, like,
I
this kid's, like, he's got
I
the
would never
he's
take credit for knowing that he was
Oh,
gonna do
no,
something like that. It was
totally.
just like something that
But I
I knew
think
he had a shot to be
yeah.
successful, and to do it this early on is like, whoa.
Mhm. I always look at you and, like, what you're made of and, like, who you are and why you're so successful, and then when you're able to, like, see those, attributes in
Yeah.
someone else, I think is cool to see that, because then, they're probably gonna be successful, and look at him.
And a lot of it has to do with your situation. Like he obviously went into a situation where there was a need at the position.
Yeah,
Sean McVay obviously had a plan for him. He showed the things necessary throughout training camp to like get him in there, and
yeah.
showed out ever since. So I'm super happy for him. That's pretty tight.
Today's show is sponsored by BetterHelp. So, with the new year here, there's all kinds of anxieties and things to stress and worry about with the new year literally here already. So, personally, I will be postpartum soon. So, with postpartum comes a lot of unknowns, scaries that I talk to Fred often about that you just, you don't know how you're going to do. A lot of women struggle with postpartum depression and everything that comes with that. So there's just so much unknown, crazy things that happen, and I like to be prepared mentally for things. So if it's too much to take on, therapy is always a really good source to go to. So with BetterHelp, you can get help with finding your strengths so you can ditch the extreme resolutions and make changes that actually stick with whatever you're going through. If you're thinking of starting therapy, definitely give BetterHelp a try. It's completely online, which is really convenient for people that need a more flexible schedule with their therapy choices, like me. I'm not able to just hop in the car anymore like I used to. So that's really nice, especially if you are just starting out fresh with therapy. So celebrate the progress you've already made. Visit betterhelp.com/Warner today to get 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp, HELP.com/Warner. So when we talk about rookie of the year, correct me if I'm wrong, so he would be in the running for that, I'm guessing?
Yes.
And would the Texans quarterback be in the running for that?
Mm-hmm.
And is it by, like, offense, defense, or it's
Mm-hmm.
only one?
Offensive rookie of the year, defensive rookie of the
Oh,
year.
okay, so there's only one.
So between him and the guy from
You think that's
Texans.
it? This them two?
Oh yeah, no, there's nobody else in
Really?
contention. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of offensive rookies who've had great seasons, I'm sure, but not like them two.
Who do you think deserves it?
Um, it's hard for me to say. If I'm being biased, then obviously I'm gonna say Puka deserves it to
But
be.
you could
But
also be biased because the quarterback of your coach/BFF,
and that's the thing is like
DeMeco Ryans with the Texans.
which is harder to play in the NFL, quarterback or receiver, and obviously quarterback. So the fact that I saw like a stat where players that have, I forget what it is, like led the league in interception, touchdown ratio, and some other stat. And it was like Tom Brady, Joe Montana, and uh, what's his kid's name? Um, CJ Stroud. There was those three
Hmm.
in all of NFL history. I'm
Hmm.
like, he literally did that in his rookie year. So he's done some pretty impressive stuff. Obviously, the Houston's in the position they are because of what D'Amico's done, but
I think
you
it's probably
can't
gonna
do
be
it without
Puka.
a quarterback.
I think it's probably gonna be Puka.
Either player is very
They
deserving.
both deserve it. Wish
They're
there could
both
be
very
two.
deserving. So whoever doesn't get it, like, you can't be mad because both players have balled
Totally.
out and done some like spectacular things in their first year.
Hmm. If we had somebody from our team be rookie of the year, who would it be?
You talking about for offense,
Both.
offense and defense?
Yeah.
Offensively, I'd have to say Ronnie Bell, receiver, key special team returner for us. He's come in, played receiver. I think he got a couple tugs
Yeah, I
this
saw
year,
him
a couple
last year.
touchdowns.
I mean, last
He had a
game.
touchdown this game,
Hmm.
a touchdown 2 weeks ago versus the Ravens. Had one earlier in the
Yeah, he's
year, I think,
good.
against the Giants. He's had a few
He
tough.
looked really good.
I mean, he showed out in the preseason. Like, remember, like he was
Yes.
like Debo Samuel out there, like breaking
Yes. Yeah.
tackles, getting out of
Wait.
there.
Yeah. He
So
definitely
he
would
showed
deserve
out.
it.
Yeah. So I'd probably give it to him. And then defensively, there's a couple guys that have really played a huge role as well, and I'd probably give it to Jair Brown.
Jair
Come in
Brown.
playing huge minutes for us as safety
Hmm.
when Huff went down. One of our key players, key leaders.
When you were a rookie, did you have years like those too, or was it more of a quiet year for you?
Did I what?
Like when you were a rookie, your
Okay.
rookie year, did
Yeah.
you have like a splash crazy year, or
No.
was it more quiet?
I mean, it was solid. It's
But it
hard.
wasn't like something crazy.
No, no, not at all. No,
Okay.
it was not like no
Yeah,
like Puka Nacua situation.
it's okay.
I mean, I just wasn't ready. Not to say I wasn't ready, because starting at Mike linebacker in the NFL is
I
is
remember
is
you to
hard.
always talk about that Vikings game.
It's a hard thing to do. All
Mhm.
right, you get to play Mike, and you never played it before your entire life,
Mhm.
and then you're being thrust in there to give the calls to Richard Shermans and DeForest Buckners and all
That's
these,
so
like,
cool. That's what made you who you are, though.
yeah. I mean, I'm so grateful,
Yeah.
but I just wasn't ready to like step into the league and be like I'm him
Yeah.
type of situation.
Yeah.
I was like swimming, treading water like this,
You weren't
like a little
swimming.
doggy paddle. Like I come in
No.
every week after a game, be like, oh, are they gonna bench me? Oh my god, oh my
No.
god, oh thank goodness.
No.
Oh, I'm still the
You
starter.
just
Okay,
didn't believe in yourself yet.
there you go.
And now
That's a
you
big
know
part of it.
who the F you are.
Say it again, sister.
I don't want to say it again. But you do. I guess it takes that's a lot that
That's a
yeah.
lot of it. What it is, I talk about it often. It's the mental barrier that you place on yourself
Yeah.
that you got to overcome, because everybody that's in the NFL is good. Everybody is talented. You're there for a reason. It's just about eliminating that mental barrier, like where you're like, no, I'm going to be a part of this pack of people instead of being a part of the upper echelon
Mhm.
level of players.
Mhm.
You remove that barrier and you work to attain what you want to attain,
Mhm.
you could put yourself right up there.
I believe that.
And that's what I did. And I'm still going.
Totally. You haven't even hit your peak yet. That's what's
No.
crazy.
Yeah, the prime hasn't even been unlocked.
Well, speaking of the Texans, DeMeco Ryans Texans win the AFC South and earn 4th seed in the playoff. Houston's went 3-13-1 in 2022 and 10 wins, 7 losses in 2023 under DeMeco.
Mm-hmm.
So that's crazy. Like he's gonna go down in the history books.
Absolutely. I mean, it's insane. This is unheard of to do something like this in your first season. And like it's because of the culture that he's created and like the mindset he has, the type of leader that he's, type of human being and leader that he is top notch. But to have a rookie to hit on a rookie quarterback like he has, forget how the season's gone. Like, all right, yeah, this is great that you even achieved this, but like to hit like that at that
So
position,
did he have makings in the drafting of this guy?
yeah,
Okay, so that was part of
this
him.
is his first like draft
Okay,
class.
okay.
Yeah, it's not like they drafted before
Okay.
they hired him.
Okay.
So this is his first draft class, and to have hit on such a star at quarterback, regardless of how the season's gone, you know that the future is extremely bright,
Yeah.
because that right there runs the entire show. You got to have a star right there at that position to have a chance to win the Lombardi,
Mhm.
hoist the Lombardi, and they got one. So now they could just load up the rest of the roster and then keep working hard
Yeah.
and instill in the right
So
culture.
happy. I was so happy when they won that game to get in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
awesome.
Yep.
He's amazing. We love him.
Yeah. So we'll see if they can. I don't know who they play in the first round, but if they can win a game in the
Wait,
playoffs,
I
like
think I know.
then they're really. Oh yeah, it says right here, they play the Cleveland Browns, who are hot.
Are they?
Yeah, but it's a home game though. They get to play in Houston.
Okay.
Yeah.
I feel like exciting for because has Houston had like a winning past in the past years? Has it been like a?
It's
Have
been
they
since
always been kind
the
of
last
good?
time they went to the playoffs, I think, was 2019. So it's been
Oh
a few years since they even
yeah.
made the playoffs.
So now the Houston fans are gonna get they're in it.
Oh, they're in it. That
That's
playoff
so good.
atmosphere is something different.
That's good.
So H-Town
Texas football.
Gonna be cracking, boy.
Okay, so another game from around the league. The Saints beat the Falcons 48-17. There was some kind of controversial ending. Fred, I'm going to let you dive in on that because I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know all the details. Basically, from what I heard was the Saints are beating up on the Falcons pretty heavily.
Mm-hmm.
The game is out of reach. The Saints had just got an interception. Tyrann Mathieu
Okay.
runs it down all the way to the 1 yard line, gets tackled at the one before he scores.
Okay.
So now there's only a couple seconds left in the game, I think,
Mhm.
and they're already up like 2, 3 scores. So the Saints are like, all right, we're gonna get in victory formation. We're gonna kneel the ball, run the clock out, and the game will be over.
Okay.
However, the quarterback, Jameis Winston, before the
Of the
play of the
Saints?
Saints,
Okay.
he huddles up the team in the huddle. Hey fellas, what y'all want to do? Do you want to go for this touchdown right here, or do you want to take a knee? And Jamal Williams, my brother, who another BYU Cougar, hadn't scored all year. Last year he was the touchdown leader in the league with the Lions. This year he hadn't scored a touchdown. Like, hey, should we get our boy Jamal a touchdown, or do you guys want to take a knee? And everybody in the huddle like, oh, we want to run it.
And are you sure that was said in that was what was said in that huddle?
This is what I'm hearing.
Okay.
Like I said, I don't know all the
Okay.
details, but this is what I heard.
Okay.
So boom, they're like, oh, we want to run it.
Okay.
So they still line up in victory formation like they're about to kneel it. So the defense, once you see that, you're like, oh, okay, boom, you don't
Game's
even play.
over. Yeah,
You
whatever.
don't even play the play. They said, "Sarai," and he hands it off to Jamal, and he runs in and scores the touchdown. The Falcons coach is livid on the other sideline. Because the game ends, he starts walking to midfield because the head coach is shaking hands. He starts walking to midfield. He's like, "What the was that?"
To
Cussing
who?
him out, the head coach of the Saints, thinking that the Saints head coach was the
Oh.
one who formulated that.
Oh.
But the Saints head coach didn't know
What
anything
did he
about
say?
it.
What did he say?
He tried to calm him down and be like, "No, that wasn't me. I wasn't trying. I didn't call it." And then so
Oh.
that's why there's been this whole debacle
Way
of
to
people
throw your guy
of
under the
people trying to
bus.
have it explained. So the Falcons coach gets fired, by the way.
Wait, why?
The season they had wasn't the best.
Oh, okay.
It had nothing to do with that whole situation, I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
But they didn't have they underperformed throughout the season, so he
Yes.
gets fired. And so that's his last moments is having that sort of like
Oh,
situation.
man.
But then now the Saints head coach is having to explain himself. The quarterback, James Winston's having to explain himself for why it
Well, he
happened.
should take it on and put it on his back.
No, he did.
Oh, he did?
He did.
Okay. Well, as long as he put it on his back, I stand with the Saints. Because as long, I'm not okay, you shouldn't do something that your coach told you not to do.
Uh-huh.
But at the same time, you have to like make the right decision for your team. He's the quarterback, right? And these are his teammates. He's playing every day with these guys.
Okay.
He's suiting up every day. You know, like these are his like, you know, this is the pack.
Okay.
And you're like, okay, like if what you say is true, and they were like, we
Mhm.
really want this for so and so, like we really want this. Like
Okay.
they were losing anyways. There was
Uh-huh.
2 scores. Like who gives a crap?
The Saints were winning. The
Yeah, that's
Falcons
what
were
I'm
losing
saying.
anyway.
That's
Yeah.
what I mean.
Yes.
So I think if it was the way that you sliced and diced it, I
Mhm.
stand with the Saints. The Falcons, take the L, babe. Take it.
Hey, you know I don't.
I get it's
I
in
don't wanna
bad
I don't wanna get
taste.
involved
I
in all
totally
that.
I'm just saying from like definitely in bad taste. Like it's not the classiest thing to do.
Mm.
It's definitely not a good look.
Okay.
But are the Saints really known for being like this prim and proper team? No, I don't think so. They're like, you
Well,
know.
I mean, we're not gonna say that they don't have good sportsmanship.
Oh
Like
no,
they,
no,
yeah,
I'm not saying sportsmanship. They're like a gritty team, like you know, New Orleans. Like
they
they're in
got they
the.
got great sportsmanship over there.
I'm not saying they're not sportsmanlike.
Okay.
I'm just saying they're like you know, they're kind of like you know the Raiders are kind of scary.
That's the
They have
Saints.
that like vibe.
The Saints have a scary vibe.
I think so. I mean, I'm from Alabama, so
Okay.
like you're definitely more intimidated by the Saints than you are the Falcons. Like the Falcons are.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead and move on
As
from
a
there.
fan.
Yeah, I know. I know.
Anyways, all that to say, that's a really weird situation to be put in, especially the coach of the Saints. Oh my gosh.
Absolutely. It was I'm sure very
Which there are a lot of apologies going out this
very
week.
awkward situation after all that with the aftermath.
Is that guy in trouble, the quarterback, or is it just kind of like it is what it is?
Nothing's
not, like,
happened.
in
Like
trouble.
there's like announcers who like, you know, sports announcers who are like calling for him to be fired, you know, like or cut, you know what I'm saying,
good
for
thing
something
sports
like that.
announcers have literally no say so.
Okay. So on to the next. Should we basically talk about the playoffs real quick. So we play the lowest seed remaining after this weekend.
And what does that mean?
So what that means is we play
The worst team in terms of wins and losses?
No. In terms of seeding.
Seeding.
So right now, I think this is how the seeding goes. Green Bay at 7, Rams at 6, Eagles at 5, Tampa Bay at 4.
Oh.
So it'll be one of those 4 teams.
Oh, okay. I didn't even know.
Depending on how those games go this weekend.
Okay.
So we'll be ready. regardless of the opponent.
So yeah, it's just like a week of just dwindling down, getting these games going. They start on Saturday, they end on Sunday, so we'll know who we're playing Saturday or Sunday.
We could know as late as Monday.
As late as Monday.
As late as Monday. So
How is that? Monday?
because Monday the Eagles play the Tampa
Oh,
Bay.
there is a Monday night game next week.
Next week, yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it'll just depend on how the games go.
Okay.
There is a game going on tonight.
What?
The
The national championship. Yeah, there is. I see Michigan taking it.
Yeah, Michigan was winning that game. Let's see if I can look at the score really quick.
Let us know.
They were up when we last were watching, and they're still up 20-13. It's a
Ooh.
tight ball game in the third quarter, middle of the third quarter.
Yeah.
Who do you think pulls it out based on what you saw?
I think Michigan probably wins. They have they're pretty good. They're a pretty good team.
I don't know. I mean, it could go either way. Initially, I'd said Michigan.
Washington's been losing the whole game, so for them to come back,
they got a quarterback that can do it.
Yeah,
that's all I know.
Okay. Well,
is there anything non-football that you would like to discuss?
There's nothing really going on in our life besides football.
Remember, we watched that little Golden Bachelor wedding.
Oh yeah,
there's not really much to.
Underwhelming.
I mean, Hard Knocks is brutal for the Dolphins right now.
When does that come on? Tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Either tonight or tomorrow.
Yeah.
It's brutal for him right now.
Yeah. Oh.
I feel bad for, guys like Tua and obviously McDaniel, and for some reason they just cannot get it together in the late
That's not
part
that
of
bad though, right?
No, I mean they're in the playoffs for sure, but they lost the division when they had that thing tied up, ready to go, and so that's just unfortunate.
That's going to be a good game, Dolphins, Kansas City.
We'll see.
What do you mean?
We'll see.
Like it'll be a good game to watch. Like it'll be like a hard.
No, yeah, game. I think it's a cool matchup for sure.
So whoever wins that game is out. Like one of those teams is done.
You mean whoever loses that game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so crazy because
they're the playoffs.
That's so crazy.
That's the playoffs.
It's a big one. Yeah, so we're watching a little bit of the Hard Knocks right now. What else am I watching? Oh, I've dove in very deep into Real Housewives of Miami.
Oh God.
That is my show. I love everything about it. Alexia is my queen. I just can't believe I didn't, get on that franchise earlier. I love a good Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Of course, New Jersey, but I never thought about Miami, and wow, incredible. Or do you like it too? Don't act like you don't. No, nothing's going on in music right now.
You know what I call that? What I call that show?
That's enough. Nothing's going on in music. Nothing's really going on. You guys, nothing's going on in our life besides football and pregnancy. So if it's not about football or pregnancy, we don't really talk about it.
I love it. That's exactly how it should be.
Yeah. Exactly. What are we going to talk about after I have this baby and you guys, the season's done?
We'll talk about who's changing the diaper next.
And that'll be you.
Probably.
And I'll do the feeding. And you'll do the diapering. But okay, so let's answer some questions.
Hey, how about you start us off?
I haven't done this in a long time. This will be fun.
Okay.
Courtney Anderson 8983 asks, what are you looking forward to the most about becoming parents? What is the advice that everyone keeps giving you? I'll let you go first.
You'll let me go first? Mm-hmm. What am I looking forward to?
And what's the best advice?
I mean, the advice, I don't know, because I don't think I've gotten much advice other than just taking it one day at a time, being present, really just enjoying the little moments, regardless of what that is, because time flies, especially when they're in the newborn stage. I'm just excited for him to finally be here.
Yeah.
I want to see him. I want to hold him. I want to see what he looks like.
You know what he looks like, kind of.
No, that's not what he.
We went this past week, you guys, and we got a 4D ultrasound, and it was incredible. I recommend anyone that is pregnant to do it. If you're like us and want to know and see, and you're like that. Some people like to wait. I think it's beautiful either way, but we did see him, and he is just so stunning, gorgeous, beautiful. It's just so, because like the last time I saw him, he was like a little bean, and now he's got facial features, and he was a human being. It's just crazy.
Yeah, no, it was insane to look at.
It was so crazy.
But yeah, I think just seeing it in person will be much better than a little photo.
I know. I think, what am I looking forward to the most? Wow. I think what I'm looking forward to the most would be, I don't know, yeah, just like having him here. I mean, it's just gonna be
Literally,
such a new, we're gonna be
I know.
parents. Like, I don't, it's gonna be just, it's gonna rock our world in every way. So I just think him being here and not having this like suspense anymore, not having to be, I think a lot of people out about the advice thing. A lot of people give you kind of like they don't really give you advice, they kind of like scare you a little bit. And I think I'm excited to like finally just experience it for myself
Hmm.
and be able to kind of work through all those days and weeks and months of like the dog days and try to see. So I'm just gonna really try to see the good, you know? I'm gonna try my hardest not to get down, and I don't know, it's gonna be all new to us. So I don't know how I'm gonna react,
Yeah.
but I'm hoping that I'm a very strong-willed, strong-minded woman, so I hope that I can just, get through the hard parts, like you said, enjoy the newborn stage because it's only there for so long, and
Hmm.
then, they start doing things. But I think I'm gonna feel like time's going slower
Mm.
rather than fast.
In the moment, that's how it feels.
Yeah,
And then you blink, and then all of a sudden they're walking around. It's like, wait a second,
you think
what
so?
happened? Yeah, that's how. I mean, that's just what I see.
When you care for something for 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, you think
That's
it
just
goes
what I
by
hear.
fast?
That's just what I hear.
Hmm,
That's what I hear.
I don't know. Never done it.
But anyway, I mean, you know how I keep saying like, I wish it was tomorrow. I wish it was tomorrow. I'm like, you know what? At this point, it's literally in striking distance now, where you can kind of smell it, you can sniff it, and once he's
Yeah,
here, he's here. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna
I'm.
enjoy,
Yeah,
me and you time until it's here, and we'll really cherish these moments
I'm sure
just
those last.
remaining,
Yeah, totally.
before he gets here.
I know.
Okay, next question. At Daniel Hernandez. Wow, see, this is a nice, simple ad name. That's just I can really respect that. Hi, long, hi, longtime Niner fan since the '80s. My question is, do you eat Mexican food? And if you do, what's your favorite? P.S. I got your jersey for Christmas. My favorite, Dub City. Dang, I really missed saying that yesterday, unfortunately, but it'll be back. Don't worry. Um, yeah, of course I eat Mexican food, and I'm a big street tacos guy. Um, Sydney always makes fun of our family because she says every time we get together, every meal we have street tacos, and we just sweat taco juice because of how many tacos we eat.
Any variation
Any
of
variation of
every
tacos is what we
color
eat, I guess.
in the
So
rainbow.
yeah. So that's what the Warner family dabbles in
Yeah,
for our meals together, and Sydney has adopted it as well.
I don't make them,
She
but
doesn't make them, but she indulges
I'll have a bite or
when the
two.
time comes.
Yes.
And what else did he said something else, didn't he?
Your jersey
Oh,
for
PS.
Christmas.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. Everybody that gets my jersey, by the way, I'm very
I've heard
grateful.
it was sold out. Is that true?
That's kind of what I hear sometimes
Like
too.
everyone's like, I can't get it. I can't get it.
It's because it's not like a Christian McCaffrey or George Kittle jersey where
What is that
they
supposed to
keep them in
mean?
stock
What's
at the
that supposed
team.
to mean?
They keep them in stock at
Sorry.
the team store and
What?
everything. Like my jersey, you got
What?
to like custom make it and all sorts of things.
That's just really effed
But
up.
anyway, I mean, when I go into the stadium every home game and I see the fans wearing my jersey,
It's getting a lot.
it truly means the world. And every year, more and more jerseys are filling up that stadium.
At 49ers, make more Fred Warner jerseys because that's what the people want. Give the people what they want. And
I'm very grateful.
and
That's all I'll say.
let's give the people what they want. That's all I'm saying. Because I did see they were out of stock.
Really?
Restock them. Okay, last question at B_U. Fred, throughout your career, would you say that you were a natural born leader or did that role come to you? And if so, how'd you learn to motivate and speak confidently to people?
Mm. Wow, that last part right there kind of hit. Well, the whole question hit, but that last part specifically, because you don't realize that it is hard to stand in front of a group of grown men who are all the best at what they do and like and say something that's gonna be meaningful, that they're gonna literally hear and be like, you know what, yeah, we're behind you.
Mhm.
The whole leadership role has grown over time. I think it was for sure something that was a part of me from a young age,
Mhm.
but it was something that for sure had to be developed. And I've watched guys who are great leaders like Richard Sherman's, DeForest Buckner's, Joe Staley's. Early in my career, even Malcolm Smith's, Quan Alexander's. These guys all were just amazing leaders that I was able to learn from, and I was blessed to be able to be behind and learn from them. And the thing about being a leader and leadership, it's like it's not about the guy who stands in the middle and is giving the rah rah speech. Like, yeah, people see me getting the team hype before the game and all those sort of things, but like it's so much more than that. It's like, first of all, you got to be yourself. If you go in there before the game watching Ray Lewis hype up videos, thinking you're going to say exactly what he said and that's going to get them rowdy, no, that was Ray Lewis. That was his thing.
Mhm.
You got to be Fred Warner and do
Mhm.
your own thing and be yourself, because that's what people like truly, you know,
Connect with.
connect with, is being somebody who's authentic to themselves. And you also have to care about your teammates. That's like the number one thing. Is a great leader cares about the people that he goes to
Mhm.
work with and is around day in and day out. And that's something I'm always striving to be better at, like is just always wanting to make sure I'm genuine. Cause like it's so easy to get, things are monotonous. You get late in the season.
Mhm.
You're so worried about either your play or, things outside of the building. I have a pregnant wife at home. I come in, I might see one of my boys. I'm like, hey, what's up? Like, I'm like, hey, you good? What's up, man? Or like just something like, that does like people always say like, oh, what's up, man? You good? Like just something like that. And it's
Mhm.
like, are you really asking that person, are they good? Or are you
Mhm.
truly wanting to know how they're doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like little things like that, I feel like, is what leadership's about. Um and yeah, it's fun to have, have that responsibility.
I love that you are the way you are, because like I just feel like when we have our son, like you're gonna teach him to be that way too. And you're gonna like lead him and you're gonna teach him to be confident in the way that he speaks
Mhm.
and to be a leader and not a follower in all stages of his life. If somebody's biting at daycare, we're not gonna follow and bite them. Somebody's punching somebody out in the school
Uh-huh.
play yard, whatever,
Uh-huh.
we're not punching back unless they deserve it and you
Okay.
really need to be punching on them, you know?
Yep. I feel that.
So I think you're a great leader in your home
Mhm.
and on the field.
Thank you, honey.
You're
I
welcome.
try to be.
You are, you are. Um, okay, well I think that was it. I'm so glad that I like pulled it together for this.
You did so great.
I know I'm not gonna watch the video because I'm gonna just like curl up in a ball and I'm not gonna watch. But you know what? You just gotta get through things in life. And today was ripping off the band-aid. Sydney, don't wear a drop of makeup on your podcast where a
Mhm.
thousand people watch. You know, it's fine.
It's fine.
8 months pregnant, no biggie.
You
It's
look
not what it's
amazing.
about. You know,
You look
it's about
gorgeous. You
this.
look amazing, gorgeous, beautiful, all those things.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Okay, so that's it, you guys. Not unfortunately, but so this is the first season of our podcast, as you all know, and we are having a second season, but of course, there's got to be some time off in there, and that time off is going to be not this week. Not next week, but the next week. So, our last episode of this season is going to be next Tuesday is going to be it for this first season of the Warner House. We are going to take Fred is going to take the time for his team and himself as the leader of the team, like we just spoke about, to just be completely focused on football. We're not going to, come on here and talk about the ins and outs of playoffs and all the things, God willing, that we are see it all the way through. So we're just going to choose to, yeah, do that for the franchise. But we'll be here next week. The following weeks after that, we will be taking off and we'll be having a baby and we're going to be, celebrating all the things that we're going to be celebrating at that time. So we will see you guys back, of course, for the second season during the summer. So it won't be too long. But yeah, I just wanted to like prep you guys for that. Next week will be our last episode. But we love you and we're so thankful for you. And this has been like the best thing ever. We'll dive more into that next week because this is not it. We still have a whole
This
nother
isn't it.
episode. Yeah. But for next week's episode, you guys please send us in YouTube questions in the comments on our YouTube channel. And then if you want to listen to audio only is also really great. You can listen to it on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere that you can listen to your podcast. And yeah, thanks for joining. We will see you guys next Tuesday. Bye, guys.
Peace.
Be sure to subscribe anywhere you get your podcasts and to the Warner House on YouTube.